baby. So, I'm trying to make this less loud. Last one was really loud. Maybe I should talk to loud. Finding Nemo, night games. Nemo was enjoying the perfect afternoon. He was playing tag with his octopus friend Pearl. The two friends chased each other from sponge bed to sponge bed. Can you see them? From sponge bed to sponge bed. Tag, you're it, Pearl giggled as she tapped Nemo on the back with one of her 8 tiny tentacles. Bet you can't catch me. We'll see about that, Nemo said, as Pearl jetted away, kicking up a large cloud of sand. Nemo flipped his fins faster and chased Pearl past the edge of the sponge beds. He was about to tag her when he spotted something tall and wide up ahead. What is that? He shouted, pointing a fin over Pearl's head. What's what? Pearl asked. Come on, Nemo said. Let's go check it out. See them? Going to check it out. Nemo and Pearl. Nemo swam toward the looming object. It seemed to wave at them in the gentle current. Well, wait for me, Pearl called out. Getting closer, Nemo let out an excited yelp. It was a huge seaweed bed. The bed was a giant maze of green and red seaweed. Some spots were almost so dense to swim through, while others formed small pockets of open space. Pearl and Nemo had never seen it before. This looks like the perfect hide-and-seek spot, Nemo said. Pearl, want to play? Pearl looked around nervously. The sea had started to turn dark. I would love to, Nemo, but I think we should head home. It's getting late, and both our dads will be wondering where we are. Looking around, Nemo realized Pearl was right. It was time to go home for the night. Oh. When Nemo got back to his sea anemone, his father was waiting. Together they had dinner, and Nemo told him all about his afternoon with Pearl on the seaweed bed. That sounds like a neat place, Marlin told his son, but now it's time for bed. Aw, come on, Dad, Nemo protested. Can't I just stay up a little bit longer? Marlin shook his head. Try to get some sleep, son. Nemo settled into bed and closed his eyes. He told himself a long bedtime story. He thought about boring things like math class. He even counted dolphins. But he wasn't sleepy. Finally, Nemo got up and swam to his father. Dad, I can't fall asleep. I tried, but I just can't. So I was thinking. Marlin looked up at his son. Thinking, you say? He replied, trying not to smile. He had a pretty good idea what his son had been thinking. What exactly were you thinking, son? He asked. I think you and I should go to the seaweed bed now. That way you'll know if it's safe. And I can go there tomorrow and play with my friends. I promise. When we get back, I'll go right to bed. Please, Nemo begged. Marlin looked at his son's hopeful face. Seeing the seaweed bed for himself did seem like a good idea. All right, he said finally. Let's go take a look at this new friend of yours, Nemo shouted, flipping in excitement. Let's go. As Marlin and Nemo swam through the reef, Nemo realized he was glad to have his father with him. Everything seemed scarier in the dark. Squinting, Nemo looked for the seaweed bed, but in the dark it was nearly impossible to see anything. Son, Marlin began, are you sure the bed is out this far? Nemo nodded. It is, I know it is. I just wish you could see a little bit better. Nemo was about to give up when he saw a light in the distance. The speck grew closer and closer, glowing brighter and brighter until it lit up the water all around Nemo. In the middle of the light was the strangest fish Nemo had ever seen. Here he is, glowing. The new fish had giant lights under her eyes. "Hi, I'm Nemo," Nemo stammered, amazed. "Hi," the other fish said in a friendly sing-song. "I'm Lumen." "It's nice to meet you, Lumen," Marlin said. "I'm Nemo's dad. How come we've never seen you before?" Lumen fluttered around, causing her light to waver and flicker. "My family and I are nocturnal," she said. "We swim and play at night while everyone is sleeping. Dad and I are being nocturnal too," Nemo said. "We're looking for this big seaweed bed I found this afternoon. Do you know where it is?" "Yeah." "Wait, you bet I do," Lumen said. "That's where I live. Follow me." Lumen led Nemo and Marlin to the seaweed bed. "Do you want to play a game?" she asked. "Yeah," Nemo shouted. "Can we, Dad, please?" Marlin nodded. "Just stay out here in the open," he said. "I'm going to have a look around." Now they're going. While the kids played, Marlin explored the seaweed bed to make sure it was safe. Behind him, you could hear his son counting to 100. "Don't peek," Marlin heard Lumen shout as he swam off to find a good hiding place. Marlin pushed through the maze of thick green and red strands, swimming further and further into the seaweed bed. Suddenly he realized how dark and quiet it had become. He no longer heard Nemo or see Lumen's light. He could no longer. Marlin spun around. He had no idea where he was. All he could see was seaweed. He was lost. "Nemo!" he shouted. "Nemo, where are you?" But there was no answer. Flipping his fins, Marlin tried to find his way out. Just when he was beginning to think he would be stuck in the seaweed bed forever, Marlin spotted a faint light in the distance. "Nemo!" he called, swimming towards it. "Is that you?" Following the light, Marlin made his way through the seaweed. The strands grew further apart until finally he hit the open water. There, right where he left them, were Nemo and Lumen. Marlin let out a sigh of relief. "Dad!" Nemo said excitedly. "There you are. We didn't know where you'd gone. Don't you know don't you know better than to go swimming off by yourself in the dark?" Now he's getting shit. Marlin smiled. "I guess I should have followed my own advice." Nemo gave Marlin a hug. "I'm just glad we found you, Dad." Together the two said goodnight to Lumen as they swam home. Marlin let out a big yawn. Nemo looked at his father. "When we get home, you think I should go right to bed, Dad?" Nemo said with a teasing look in his eye. "You've had more than enough adventure for one day." And that's Nemo. There's his daddy. Daddy Bentley. Daddy and Bentley. Daddy Bentley. That's Nemo. I love you, baby. Read more books tomorrow. Be nice. Be a good boy. No matter what. Okay? Good? Good?